So everybody, in this question, a circular table is pushed into the corner of a square room so that a point P on the edge of the table is 8 inches from one wall and 9 inches from the other wall as shown, and we need to find the radius of the table. So to do that, the first thing I would do is, mark out, the center of the circle, of the center of the circular table. So if this was our center, I call it O, then I would try and draw the radiuses. So one of the radius would be this, and the other radius would be this. Okay, so and then I would also want to mark out the 8 and 9 inches. So you see this, if I said was 8 and if this was 9, it doesn't matter which one you do, 8 or 9. So if this was 8 and 9, and then you see the radius suppose is R. Okay, and then um, if I were to extend this line, and this would be perpendicular, and similarly if I were to extend this line, and this is also perpendicular. So then what I can say is, if I call it X and if I call this Y, move the R a bit, so then I can say that OY, this whole thing is R, and the whole bit would be R. So this thing is R, okay, right? That is R. So what happens in this case is, I can write it down. So let O be the center, okay, and what I get is, you see, OX would be R minus 8, because this bit is 8. So OX is equal to R minus 8, and similarly OY, because this bit is 9, OY is equal to R minus 9. And then if I were to join OP, so if I were to release, so if I were to join OP, very difficult line, sorry about that. So if I were to join OP, then OP is equal to R, isn't it? The radius of the table, so if, or the circle, the circular table. If I say R is the radius, so now we can form an equation and try to solve R, because we can say that this is R minus 8 and this is 90 degrees, so triangle PYO. So in triangle PYO, what I would get is, so PY is R minus 8, so R minus 8 square plus YO, this is R minus 9. R minus 9 square is equal to OP square. This bit is R, so is equal to R square. So then if I expand these terms, remove the brackets, so R square minus 16R plus 64 plus R square minus 18R plus 81 is equal to R square. So one of these is cancelled out and we're left with R square minus, that's 4 and 34R plus 81, that's 5, 4 and 1, 6 is 14, 135, sorry, 145 is equal to 0. So we need to factorize this. So 145, I do 5 times 2 is 10, and 9. So 29 and 5, and they 29 and 5 add to give me 34 and multiply to give me 145. So hence I can write r square minus 29r minus 5r plus 145 is equal to 0. So then what I get is r times r minus 29 minus 5 times r minus 29 is equal to 0, and we get therefore r minus 5 times r minus 29 is equal to 0. So r equal to 5 or r equals 29. Now r equals 5 is not possible. Why is it not possible? It's not possible because if r is 5, then oy would be negative. So r has to be greater than 9. So r minus 9 would be negative. So the length of a line, we can't have that as negative. You know. So this is not possible. So hence r is 29. Not 99, so 29. So the answer is r is equal to 29 inches. So and then also r minus 8, would be negative, and r minus 8 would also be negative. So that is not done. So r is 29. The answer is 29 inches.